Oh, hey everyone. I'm on a hike right now, enjoying the nice weather, but I think I need to take a break. This is a steep hill. This looks like a good spot to rest. I have been reading Shadows over Celestia non-stop to find out what happens. Do you remember the last book that you just couldn't put down? The last movie that kept you on the edge of your seat? Or the last video game you couldn't stop playing? What made those stories so captivating? Was it the characters, the twists and turns, the suspenseful situations? Well, the secret ingredient is their plot. But what is a plot? Is it a scheme? A secret plan? Hey, here comes today's lesson to help us out. Today, we'll be learning about the role of plot in fiction. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to understand the structure of a plot, identify its 6 elements, and explain the significance of each one. Do you have your PDF ready to take notes? Stellar! Here we go! Plot is the sequence of events that make up a story. It's like my hiking map, guiding us through all of the twists and turns. There are 6 main elements that a plot usually follows. They are exposition, an inciting incident, rising action, the climax, falling action, and the resolution. A plot is a journey, an exciting ascent up a mountain, just like the one I'm hiking. The plot starts with exposition. We meet the characters and learn about their world. The author lays the groundwork, providing us with details about the setting, the time, and the place. Let's find the exposition in Shadows over Celestia. Something tells me it's usually at the beginning, since it's all about laying the groundwork for the rest of the story. In the heart of a bustling city known as Celestia, set high in the sky on strong pillars, there lived a brave girl named Zara. She could speak the complex language of machines. Her faithful friend Kai was a botanist, an expert in plants. Their calm life was often disturbed by Magnus Evernight, a scientist who always seemed to be inventing something new. This must be exposition. It introduces the characters and their world. It's where we start to learn about Celestia and the everyday lives of Zara, Kai, and Magnus. Next, we move to the inciting incident. Something changes in the character's world. A problem or conflict disrupts the normal life of the characters. This gets the story rolling, and the characters can't keep living their regular lives. They have to respond to the new situation, leading them to all sorts of fun, danger, and discoveries. Zara and Kai had noticed something odd happening in Celestia. The machines that Zara looked after had been acting strange, and Kai's special Lumina flower was glowing much brighter than usual. A sign that something bad was about to happen. Here's the inciting incident. It's the part of the plot where the main problem or conflict is introduced. Danger is brewing. Do you remember what comes next? As we ascend Plot Mountain following the inciting incident, we follow the rising action trail. Protagonists might face challenges, meet new characters, or have to make hard choices. All these events build up the tension and make the story more exciting. One fateful day, Celestia plunged into darkness. This isn't a simple power outage, Kai whispered to Zara, his face painted with concern. The usually humming city felt eerily silent. Kai's plans wilted, and Zara's mechanical friends stopped communicating. They rushed to Magnus's workshop, led by the light of the Lumina flower. I didn't understand its power, Magnus confessed, looking guilty at his out-of-control invention. It was sparking with wild energy while Magnus looked on, scared and regretful. After the power outage, Our characters can't ignore what happened, right? They have to do something. Things are getting more tense. And we're heading to the climax, the most exciting part. This is the turning point, the moment of greatest tension or conflict. It's like making it to the very top of that mountain you've climbed. The main character usually faces the conflict head on, and their life changes forever. I'm going to challenge you to find the climax in the story. Remember, this is the most exciting part. Highlight or underline the climax in your notes. Pause the video, then meet me back here. How'd it go? Awesome effort. So, what do you think is the climax? Let's compare our thoughts. Zara walked forward bravely, her fingers moving quickly over the wild machine, trying to find its heart. Meanwhile, Kai tried to calm the plants that had started to tremble from the power surge, singing to them about the warmth of the sun and the gentle touch of the wind. The climax! The most exciting part, where the whole city's fate hangs in the balance. It's up to our protagonists, Zara and Kai, to restore power and save the city. But what comes next? We have falling action, where the tension starts to decrease. The characters start to solve the conflict, or we start to see the consequences of the climax. It's like walking down the other side of the mountain. Finally, Zara found the gear that was causing the problem. There you are, she said with relief, adjusting the gear back into place. The lights in Celestia started to flicker back on, and the familiar city sounds began again. Kai's plants started to perk up again, their leaves uncurling and their colors coming back. The Lumina flower's bright light slowly faded, signaling that the danger was over. How can you tell that this is the falling action? Well, it looks like our protagonists fixed the machine, bringing light back to the city. It also says that the danger is over, so I think the tension is definitely decreasing here. Lastly, we have the resolution. This is where all the loose ends are tied up, like when we reach the bottom of the mountain to celebrate our journey. The characters understand the outcome of the conflict, and we see how they deal with the results. Sometimes it's a happy ending. Sometimes it's not, but it always gives a sense of closure. Let's look for the resolution in Celestia. As Celestia came back to life, everyone let out a sigh of relief, and cheers filled the air. Zara and Kai, tired but happy, stood in the center of the city, watching life come back to Celestia. Magnus stared at his invention, its once wild energy now calmed by Zara's skillful touch. He wrestled with his thoughts. He loved inventing and the joy of seeing an idea come to life, but he didn't want to harm Celestia, the place he called home. Zara, looking serious but kind, spoke first. Magnus, your creativity is a gift, but you have to use it carefully. You have to think about what might happen because of your actions. Kai agreed, adding, creating beautiful things is about balance with nature. And remember, we're always here to help if you ever get lost in your inventions. Magnus agreed, touched by their kindness. He promised to be more careful in the future and test his inventions safely before letting them loose on the city. How do you think this part is the resolution? How it helps resolve the story? What do the characters learn? Take a moment to record your thoughts in your guided notes. What do you think? It seems like life returns to normal. Zara and Kai talk with Magnus about the lesson he could learn from the situation. We get a sense of closure and resolution here. Different parts of the plot really come together to tell a whole story. Remember, plot is the sequence of events that make up a story. Every plot has exposition, an inciting incident, rising action, a climax, falling action, and the resolution. By understanding plot, you'll be able to understand stories even more, and perhaps start creating your own. For more practice, be sure to check out the PDF that accompanies today's lesson. Thanks for reading more of Shadows over Celestia with me. It would be fun to see more of Magnus's inventions. I wonder if there's a sequel. I have to head back to the library as soon as I get down from this mountain. See you next time, my plot pioneers!
Hey, hey.